Hello from the creative studio at Nona, and today I am here with one of my very good friends, Jannese Garcia.
Exactly. I'm so happy to be with her because I've known her for years now.
I know.
And I've always told her that the way that you lead, the way that you attract people is a talent that you either have it or you don't have it, and you have it.
Oh, don't make me cry at the beginning.
But at some point maybe, because that's just how deep we go.
You know, my first memory of Jannese, we were actually at a family reunion back in 2018, and we were hanging out. We were in the hangout part of New Orleans. We were in bars, bar hopping.
Because you have to, kind of.
We walked into this bar, and there's Jannese with all of her energy. If you know this woman, you know what I'm talking about. And she's dancing and this and that and the other, and I walk in, and we had met before, but we hadn't hung out, and she grabbed me by the hand and was like, "Vente, we're gonna go to the dance floor," and that was it. It was like a match made in dancing heaven.
And that doesn't change. Anytime I'm in a setting where there's music,
I know,
and people are not dancing, and I'm como una hormiga, I'm just like. And I'm like, no one else is dancing. Let's just start pulling people.
I know. So
thank you for doing that and being a sport.
I love that that's our first memory, right? And there's been so many other things in our relationship as friends, right, that have transpired in all these 8 years of friendship. And I'm super grateful that you said yes to have this little
I love that you're doing this. This is you.
You know that I believe in collaboration, 100%. I think in our industry, we are lacking that in a very big way. And I have decided to swim against the current to some extent. And I'm okay with that because I feel like it's a project that's coming out of love. And so I just want to have a conversation with other amazing people out there.
Exactly.
So are you ready for this?
I'm ready 2000% on all the questions that she has to shoot.
Pages.
Let's go.
All right. So what matters most to you in your world right now, Jannese?
What matters most to me, honestly, is who I have around me. The energy of the people around me, because that brings me peace. And I'm fighting. There's a lot of chaos that happens in my world. I won't go into details of my whole circus. We'll be here for longer than 20 minutes. But you have to align. One of my coaches tells me, you got to get yourself out of the box and you have to look inside. And then you have to have your CEO time every single morning. It's at least 10 to 15 minutes. So what's working, what's not working, what's aligning, what doesn't feel good, what feels right that I need to add more time into it. And I've been doing a lot of analyzing that.
I love that.
What is taken away from my energy? Because I am, if you know me to be hyper energetic, I love laughing, I love making people laugh. And if you see me off, something around me is affecting that. And you have to learn very quickly to identify that and remove it. And it could hurt, because it could be someone that you love. It could be a friend. It could be a family member. And you can love them from far. You don't have to stop loving. But you need to also start distancing and protecting your energy, because you'll realize sooner than later that particular energy of that person that you love and whatever is pulling you away from your mind space of really focusing on the things that do align and push you forward.
Yeah. I think boundaries.
That was a lot that I just said.
Boundaries are so important.
The boundaries, yeah.
And I feel people take boundaries for granted, right? Because we're so afraid of not pleasing others, right? And
we're giving.
And in our industry, we're constantly doing things for others, right? So when we draw boundaries, it's very hard for us to come to terms with that. And we kind of feel out of alignment, right? And alignment is everything. Someone was telling me the other day, I feel off. And I'm like, when we feel off, we're so far away from who we think we are or should be, right? That we're just in misalignment. So rooting yourself down to what you're saying, your CEO time or your thinking time or your praying time, however that looks like in your life, is not just necessary, it's instrumental. That has to happen. And listen, I remember when I was a little girl, my mom used to always ask me, so who are you going out with? And I was like, so-and-so. And what's their last name? I don't know.
At least you went out. My parents were so strict.
And she would always tell me, dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres. Right? She would always say, who you're hanging out with will make who you are. And I didn't get that until I became an adult, because, who understands that at 16 you're just being annoying. Right.
Well, you just want to be part of the crowd and you want to make friends.
But she was so right. And the older that I get, the more that I understand my environment makes me or breaks me. And that's my work environment, my friendships environment, my relationship, with my husband, with my family, right? Colleagues in the industry. That's gonna make you or break you.
Absolutely.
You know, and at the end of the day, and we talked a little bit about this before the cameras were on, at the end of the day, the divine plan, right, it's to do the thing with people. Mm-hmm. God didn't design this so that we would do this alone. Mm-hmm. Like, life.
You can't. And why would you? Why would you want to do that?
How boring would that be?
I was having a conversation the other day with someone who wants to accomplish, quite a bit.
Yeah.
And they just feel like, I just got to do it. I just got to do it. It's very lonely when you can have others that you got to be choosy with who your circle is. But I could tell you, I've not done anything that's been significant in my life by myself. I've had people, I've had coaches, I've been a student. My ego didn't get in front of me, because that's the problem. Is it the pride and I got to do it on my own. I got to show that I got to. My kids can do that. They want it because we're parents, and so they want to be able to. I want to prove to you that I can do it. But I wouldn't look at you less if you asked your friend to help you accomplish what it is that you want. You're not anything less. You just actually advanced yourself actually quicker to be able to do what you wanted to do.
Absolutely.
And so ego, pride, I don't know, they're just not.
So as you have grown up as a human being, what is something that you have had to unlearn to be here where you're at today? To be this Jannese, this version of Jannese?
I think that being, going through the things that I've gone through in my life. I dropped out of high school. I got married early. I always felt like I was almost like a disappointment in the beginning ages of when I was a teenager, because I was making these mistakes that my parents wanted. They saw me at a certain level, and I'm here like, okay, well, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then through many years of just being as a mom and then having my other two kids, I just felt like I had to do this to prove to myself. So I was doing a lot of things on my own, and I was overwhelmed. I was stressed. I just got to do this. I got to do this. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a drive, but at some point I feel like had I reached out for other people, had I been a little bit more vulnerable, had I sought out for my faith group, I probably would have done, I know I would have done things way faster. I would be in a different position in my life. There was a picture that I posted in Instagram where I was like 20 years old, and I was like, if I knew then what I know now, I would be retired and traveling and all that. Well, what was happening then? I was alone. I was by myself. Even though I was married, but I felt like I always had to do. I didn't pull any coaches. I didn't pull any mentors.
No one was challenging your thinking.
No one was challenging me. I was just in a routine every day with nothing else, a challenge. Nobody's saying, Jannese, why don't you do this, this, that? So I was alone. And that sucks, because had I had other mentors like I've had now in many years, the last 15 years of my life, I would have done a lot more in my life with that help.
So something that we have bonded over our years of friendship, it's gratitude and spirituality. And I feel like people love saying these words, right? Like, we need to be grateful and yada yada. But I don't know that most people actually do the thing, right? Like,
and I cannot stand the hypocrisy in that.
Yeah.
In the sense, like, I can talk faith, but as soon as doors are closed or whatever,
then you're another person.
You're another person. You're not
aligned.
Those
people are not my people. 100%. Those people are not my people.
And you know them. Like, I mean, you can tell who they are. You feel their energy.
You know that. But how does spirituality? What space does spirituality have in your life in general? Not just business, but in your life. Like, is that something that you're working intentionally towards, or is just like every now and then, or I'm just going to church on Sunday and that's it? Everything
that I have right now, I owe to God. Everything that I have been able to achieve have come through prayers, have come through going into my church group and seeking other groups like me, like, single moms or entrepreneurs, and just listening to them. And then I've learned that you can't just, you got to pray specifically, like be intentional with even your prayers, like, be demanding in a sense and humble in the way. You got to also be very careful with how you pray, because the things that you want may not be what God wants for you. So you always have to kind of humble yourself at the end. If this is how I end my prayers, I want this, and but I want you to put people in front of me that will lead me in the path that you want for me, God. And for me to be obedient to that, because there'd be a lot of opportunities, a lot of blessings that are presented in front of you, and then we ourselves are blinded to it. And it was like right there. And then like 2 years, like, God, that was like something I saw 2 years ago, but I didn't do anything with it. Yeah. So I pray when I'm in this funk in my head. I pray. I surrender, which was a big word. Surrender it to God. Like, there There are things that I cannot control. There are people that you can't control anybody in general. But who can you control? How you react to things, your emotions. Are you going to stay in a frustration moment for long? Or are you going to be like, you know what, God, there's a reason for this. And so everything good and bad that happens to you, there's a reason for it. Mm-hmm. So I feel like people, if you can understand that, even if there's something really awful that's going on, and you can be like, you know what, you're making me stronger through this. And there's something at the end. It is not I'm failing forward. Mm-hmm. This is not a waste of time. It sucks, and you get into this fight with God on like, why are you doing this? Like, I've done everything that I'm trying to do, pleasing you, but then you wham me with something else again. And then I think during my process of ever since getting divorced and seeking out more God and all of that, I've learned that I had to surrender. Mm-hmm. When I went to Tony Robbins in 2017, that was life-changing for me that year. Because that's when I really understood how people feel, how I feel, and how I just have to kind of just let things go and let God.
I know. I think the best book that I read last year was Let Them by Mel Robbins.
Yes.
As a family, we were going through heavy things last year. And when I read that book, I was like, oh my God, this is the source of all my problems. Sorry. Like,
yeah. Oh my
I just
God,
want to control every single possible outcome.
Yeah.
You know, unless I'm still in that journey, right, where I'm releasing and I'm releasing to God. Like sometimes Josh looks at me like, what are you doing? Because I'm like going like this. It's all on you. I'm open for the message. Right. I'm open to hear what is it that you want me to do with that, right? But it's really on you at the end of the day.
Right.
You know, you just tell me, because I feel like we need to be open to hear the messages. And I think it's amazing how when you're that in tune with the universe and your own spirituality, how it talks back to you, right? And the message always comes through friends and people that we love and people that we trust. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times last year I was in conversations around this office that I had prayed in the morning. Like, I'm ready to go, for my day. I always pray the Our Father in the morning. I feel that it's the most powerful little prayer ever, right? Thy will be done. Mm-hmm. Not mine. That is surrender.
That's right.
Thy will be done as it is in heaven. And as I finish that, I always say, use me as a vehicle for your peace. Right, and put the right words in my mouth as I'm guiding agents and helping them get through life and ourselves and my family and all of the things, right? How many times I had convos in this office that were completely attached to what I had just prayed upon in the morning.
Isn't
like,
that
what
crazy?
Is it that I need to hear today to become a better person? And then boom, some conversation happened. I was like, okay, I got.
When you start doing that, it's so unexplainable. Like, you can't even explain that. Like, I teach my kids. My oldest is 28, 22, mm-hmm. and 16.
Yeah, our kids are kind of like the same age.
On the same age. I have 3 boys. They're amazing. They're men, And I always tell them, I say, there's power in prayer. You have to, also there's power in going to the gym. There's the mental thing around it, and there's also that spiritual. You got to have both of those super balanced and aligned. And you can pray anywhere. You don't have to be in mm-hmm. church, because some people have this thing about church and they don't mm-hmm. want to. That's fine, but do reach out and try to build that relationship, because those times that you just said happened to me, it's crazy. I'll pray and it could happen instant, or the next day, or 2 days. But I think as I've been working that out, I have been seeking that relationship with mm-hmm. God. So now I'm being more obedient, more sensitive spiritually. I don't know if it's I think it's Pisces too. I'm a Pisces, so I'm very, but it's the most incredible. And so when I pray about something, if it doesn't happen, before I would get mad and I'd be upset and I'd down myself and I self-doubt, you know what? It just wasn't meant for me. And now I'm okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I move on to something else.
And when we realize that the things are not meant for us, it's hard, right? We're not gonna sugarcoat this. It's hard to walk away from things that are attached to our identity.
The attachment.
That it's in our comfort zone, right? And when we're taking leaps that we're like, oh my God, but we have to have faith, right? Because it's either faith or fear. Those two cannot coexist in the same universe. Right. And I think intentionally, I try to choose faith as much as I can, even though there's a lot of fear too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about physical, because I know this is a big deal for you. And mm-hmm. in the past 2 to 3 years, you have embarked on this adventure of becoming your best fit physical self. And I want to know, what prompted that, first of all?
Well, I did when I was getting divorced is when I really got introduced to fitness, and that was like my outlet. That's when I really understood. I had 3 kids. I was doing property management back then, and I didn't have an outlet to. I wasn't going to church. But I needed to go somewhere. So I started learning and really loving the gym. It wasn't even the gym first. I started with the Pilates, the P90X. I started doing things at home. And I loved feeling, I was having some kind of abs. I've never had abs until now in my entire life. But I started feeling really good. And I started like kind of just detaching from my world for at least that hour. And I needed it. And so pageantry came after. And then there was this girl on stage one day that I saw that was more physical, like on her fitness. And I was like, I don't know what that is. I didn't even know it was called bodybuilding. But I just want to do that one day. And I said, I'll do that by the time I turn 40. Well, COVID happened, chaos. I don't even remember the first 2-3 years after COVID. And then it happened. And then I had forgotten about that dream and then was reminded about it. And that same moment, within that week, and this is what we lack to do. The blessings are there, but we don't take action. So it's like they go. So I knew, I was like, I had that dream. I didn't do anything about it. Like 3 years passed by, 4 years had passed by. I still haven't done it. I didn't know where to put my face. There was a friend of mine approached me. He's like, how's this competition going? And I'm like, oh my God, I forgot about it. And I felt embarrassed. That next week I started looking for coaches and hired one that would teach me in doing that. Then I realized it's called bodybuilding. It's, and I prayed about it and I landed not just in these other local bodybuilding competitions or anything like that, but with the #1 bodybuilding
I know, not like you travel
company.
For this.
I went to Puerto Rico in November.
I know you did. And you won.
And I won that one. Yeah. And I was just amazing experience to be able to do that in your island, to achieve something. Because I came here when I was 3. So I haven't been able to really do anything in Puerto Rico like my family has, because I came here little. So to be able to go back and be like I did something in where my roots are was like insane for me. So it's changed my world. It's changed my life. Tony Robbins said this one time when I went into the competition. You can change your life in 1 year. It depends on who you align yourself with, the energy, but you have to make a decision. What do you want for yourself? And I was going through a lot of emotional, situations then. And I literally just sat down as, Jannese, how do you see your life? What are you going to do? Who do you need to remove? Who do you need to add? Like, who do you need to seek? And they just landed. They're 30 years in the business. My trainers, my coaches ended up being my nutritionists as well. And the rest is history. I was able to transform within 6 months. And I competed in my first one and then competed again and then competed again. Now Puerto Rico is my 4th. And now this next one coming up, which is going to be in July, is my biggest one.
Where is it?
It's going to be in New Jersey, and it's going to be for the opportunity to get my pro card, which is what I'm like. Nice. I want to be able to compete on a professional level. Now, some people say, where are you going with this? Like, why do you? And I get asked all the time, like, I cannot not eat what I want to eat, and I can't do all of this, and I don't have your discipline, I don't have the motivation, and it's all excuses, honestly, because I tell people first, I said, listen, I can't do anything without accountability. I hold myself accountable.
That's the first step to accountability.
But you need also your core group that
people
pushes
that are saying, you go, girl, you do.
Because you're not always on your A game.
Why are you putting that burger in your mouth? Yeah.
But you're not always on your A game every day.
Absolutely.
You're not 100% every day. So you're gonna have those moments when you're like, I just like my energy is not there. That's when you need to borrow that energy from your core.
100%.
And be like, what are you doing? And my coaches is literally como al palo. Me tienen literally like I'm not going to say I fear them, but I hold them with high respect.
Of course.
That I'm paying them. Their name is on my performance, and I could not let them down. You can let yourself down.
And at the end of the day, I feel like, with your relationship with a coach, whatever industry you're in, your relationship with a coach, you have to believe in your core that coach wants what's best for you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You have to believe
But he can't do anything if you don't want what's best for you. Like
because the role of a coach is to help you think a different way.
Exactly, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so these coaches are helping you think a different way around your fitness journey, around your diet, around your routines in the gym, right? That's what they're there for.
That's it.
They can't go to your house and wake you up at 4 a.m. They can't do
that. I didn't want them to fire me.
Correct.
I needed to, but I wanted it so bad for me. And that's the thing.
And so you have to be willing.
You have to be willing. You have to like. There's a sacrifice in everything good. The good stuff just doesn't happen on your lap, and those that are just expecting that never accomplish it.
And I talk about the sacrifice word all the time, because is it really a sacrifice if it's something that's good for you, that you're
right,
pulling joy from? Is it really a sacrifice?
It's not.
No.
It's, to me, it's the enjoyment. Like, absolutely. I love it. I go to the gym. Yeah. I push, but my goal to this, and I believe that this is where God has led me into this field, is to be able to empower and inspire women, especially moms, not to let themselves go after kids. Like, I'm 40, I'm going to be 47 in March, and I have 3 boys, and I could have easily been like many friends and people that I know. They're like, it's,
they gave up.
This is what it's supposed to be like. No, it isn't. It's supposed to be like this. Like, and then you're going through a lot of like, you're increasing those signs of menopause and all these kind of things ahead of time, when nutrition could avoid and push away everything.
That is a conversation for a whole other day, because we could be on that topic for 3 hours.
We could come and talk about
49 here. I know
about the nutrition, but it's not too late ever.
Absolutely,
it's never.
But it's incredible how some of the things that we do to ourselves are to our own detriment, right? When we're not aware, we don't have situational awareness of what we're putting in our bodies, how that affects everything.
That's why you need the coach.
It's a domino effect, right? It's a domino effect, absolutely.
Right. Well, before, when I would hang out, I was pushing hardcore in the gym. And I would go, but I never looked the way that I wanted to. And I thought it was okay. I was kind of like eating to be able to network and socialize and eat what I wanted. But you don't even realize how far off you're going. And then all of a sudden, when I look at my before and my after pictures now, I'm like, oh my God, I thought that was muscle. That wasn't muscle, that was fat.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. It's not like she looked terrible before.
This
woman has always been this beautiful.
Thank you so much. I was 150 pounds. And then when I competed, I went down to 115. So that's a big difference.
That is.
And so, but like I tell people, don't do what I'm doing. You don't have to be a competitor to be able to, this is me in the extreme, because that's just my adrenaline. I'm the extreme that way. But like I tell you start with, what is it that you want to do in that month? Is it just 3 pounds?
Yeah.
Because if you don't even know exactly, like this is business too. If you don't have a set goal, what are you working? You're winging it every day. Yeah. And then now that you have a goal, you work backwards, right? Like, now what do I got to change to get to that goal? My eating. I got to do cardio at least 30 minutes a day or 20 minutes. Yeah. And then those are small goals to now reach the bigger goal. Yeah. I mean, treat your body like your business. Treat your body like your business. Isn't that your best investment? You yourself?
Hell yeah.
Like, I'm going to be 50.
We only have one.
I told my kids I'm going to be alive until 100, 200 years old.
Do you know that the human body is actually designed to live 120 years?
I think longer than that. I mean, I don't know. That's
what science says. Well, and we screw it up.
Yeah.
We screw it up.
Yeah.
All along the way. I mean, we're dying in our 70s, in our 80s. Yeah. Lucky if you get into your 90s.
Diabetes now really early.
Absolutely.
Like, that's crazy for me. My mom has diabetes. She's been the biggest inspiration for me on the nutrition side, because I had to, whenever I kind of wanted to give up, because there's moments where I just like, what the heck am I doing, Jannese? Like, these girls on stage, I'm not gonna be able to do that. And I said that a lot to myself, by myself in the gym. This is when I had to get groups. And then I started expanding, like 2-3 girls. My mom needs me to learn this, because I need to teach also my mom how to change her nutrition to get out of her diabetes.
I love that you bring that up. My mom also suffered with diabetes when she was alive. And that used to like I was desperate with that, because that is something, not all diabetes, right? But the diabetes that my mom suffered from, she could control. She could control through food intake.
My mom too.
But in our Puerto Rican mindsets, cake is healthy because it has eggs.
And we have to enjoy life. Butter. We're gonna die anyways. That's what my dad always says.
It's a collective mindset that's screwing us over.
Yeah.
For sure. So you have a lot of things on your plate. You're a mom, a single mom of 3 boys. I'm a married mom of 3 boys, and it's not easy to be a mom of 3 boys, right? And everything that entails. You run a business, a very successful real estate business. And you're also doing all of these bodybuilding competitions and all of that.
I love my life right now.
I could your face just lit up when I was like.
I love it because it's a hobby. Because it's like, what else you do outside of business? Where's your fun?
Correct.
Like, what's your fulfillment? We work to help others and to be able to obviously fund
the perfect life.
Right. So what is that? What does that look like? Is it a sport? Is it a travel? Is it a destination? To me, it's to build another business in the fitness and wellness world. and to inspire other women to do it.
So how do you do it all? How do you do it all? You know, how do you find balance?
Well, because I made things non-negotiable. You know,
there's clarity.
There's clarity, and there's purpose, and there's intention, and there's goals, and there's accountability. You know, I got my coaches that will fire me, and they have the wait list of people waiting for them. But if I don't perform, I'm going to feel like shit, and I'm not going to. I don't want to let myself down, and I don't got time to waste.
Yeah,
I'm 47. Like I don't have.
I learned
time
that
to waste.
lesson already in life. That time is the only commodity that we don't get back.
We take for granted.
We take it for granted. So do you know that the body is meant to live 120 years?
I told my kids that I'll be alive until like 200 something, because the way that I live my life right now with the discipline and the exercise, but I believe it, because back when, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you go to these monumental places, and
right, there's a thing with the blue zones where people live to be over 100 years.
Yeah.
And there's this whole combination of we're eating well, we're moving our bodies, right?
Well, everything was more just spirituality. You were eating off the land, not all this garbage. That's another thing we can talk about, is what we eat.
That's a whole thing for another day.
Yeah.
Too. You know, I always, you know that I'm a runner, and
a good one too. Do you remember when you took me out to 3 miles that we did?
And you we were setting out to like 8.
And I went the mile, and I was like, I'm going back. I remember.
You're like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I would rather be at the gym lifting weights.
Exactly.
We all have our superpowers. But every time I go work out, whether it's a run or I'm on the gym or I'm swimming, I love swimming. It's one of my favorite things. All I'm thinking is, I want my 70-year-old self to be grateful to my 49-year-old self.
By the habits that you build right now.
Correct. Because I want my 70-year-old self to still be running marathons and half marathons and passing the people.
Wow.
Right?
Like, think about what you just said, though.
Yeah.
Like,
you know me, I'm intense.
No, so we need a tattoo that says something like that, porque you can't take back time. What you do today is how you're shaping your future to be. Absolutely. So bad habits, drinking, not eating well, you're literally going to be in your 60s or 70s wishing. And it's only a wish, because you lost the time that you 100%. Would have made better decisions. And then what?
Yeah, and then what?
I don't want to do the and then what.
Yeah, I don't want, You know, like I think a lot also, and this is a very intense thought. Welcome to my world. When my mother was dying, she was saying a lot of things in her deathbed, right on her deathbed. And I remember, like, after we dealt with all that, thinking to myself, the things that I want to be saying in my deathbed are, thank God that I did that, you know. I'm so grateful that I was able to do this, that I was able to do that. I don't want to be saying the things that my mother was saying. Like, I wish I would have traveled more with you guys. I wish I would have come to Orlando more often to visit you guys. That I would have had an even closer relationship with the boys. Even though she had a great relationship with the boys, right? But it's never enough for mom. So I'm always thinking around 2 things with that. How do I reverse engineer my deathbed, right? The things that I want to be saying in my deathbed. And number 2, today, how am I honoring all the sacrifices that not just my mom, but my grandmother, my aunts, you know, the women in my family made so that I could be living this life today.
That's right. So how do you reverse that? We do this every year by having the vision board.
Correct.
And putting down the things you really want to do.
Like, my whole thing with reverse engineering my deathbed, it's all around taking action today, right? The right type of action. Because if I want to be on my deathbed saying, I wish I am happy that I spent all this time with my children, so I need to spend time with my children today, right? I need to make the phone call to the one that lives in New York and do the FaceTime and make sure that everything's fine, or hop on a plane to visit my family in Puerto Rico when I have the chance, or to go to New York to see my kid who lives in New York, or to hang out with the ones that are here. You know, what am I doing to actually make that a reality? And when it comes to how do I honor the sacrifices that the women in my family did for me, you know, this is gonna shock you. I come from a family of very strong women.
Obvio.
Very strong women. And after I pray in my Our Father in the mornings, that when I ask, you know, that we were discussing earlier around, you know, how can I be an instrument of your peace, right? It's really, that's how I honor my people, because that's who they were. And that's who I need to be and keep becoming.
There you go.
So the decisions that I'm making today as a CEO, as a mom, as a friend, are those decisions something that if they were alive,
That's what I was gonna say.
Would they be proud of that, or would they be like, dude, what the hell are you thinking?
You're not maintaining this legacy
all the time. I mean, I'm telling you, living in this brain is very hard.
But you're so creative. But that's a good way to think about it, you know, and that's how you honor them and the legacies that you create and the way that you act today. Your boys as well will do the same. Absolutely. You know, so if you're lazy today and that's what they're seeing it, obviously it would be an excuse if they continue that, because everybody, you know, I could have come from a family where there wasn't a lot of affection. Do I want to be someone that doesn't want to be? No, that's still my choice, and I can change that. Absolutely. But it becomes harder to realize at some point, like, I can change that, because a lot of people never change it because they just think, this is how I am, this is how I was raised, and that's it, like it or leave it.
But that requires accountability, right? Yeah. And I feel like that word is so thrown like everywhere, right? People throw this word out as if it's nothing, and accountability is nothing but responsibility, and responsibility is our ability to respond, right? And accountability starts with us. It's on me. If it's up to me, it's up to me, right? If I want to make money, that's on me to make the money, right? If I want to be a bodybuilder, that's on you to be the bodybuilder, right? And it's on you to make the right choices with the food, and to get your booty into the gym early in the morning, or twice a day, or however that looks like, right?
And it's not enough to wish it.
It's a commitment to you. And as a leader in the real estate industry, and I'm sure you've seen this before too, the hardest thing that I have a time with, like the thing that like irks me the most, is the lack of commitment that people have with themselves. Because I'm just looking at these people going, but you have all this potential. Like, I see all this greatness, right?
It's a bunch of excuses.
It is so hard for people to see greatness in themselves. Don't get me wrong, I'm very hard on myself too, right? But, oh my God, the lack of commitment that we have to our own personal development and personal growth, it is almost an epidemic.
And then the worst is that they're complaining later why they don't have what they want in their life. But you chose to go out and you chose to lose your life in this world of...
Why are we complaining about the results that we didn't get for the work that we didn't do?
Exactly.
It doesn't work that way.
No. I mean, you can pray and God's not just going to land it and you didn't put your part to it.
I know.
You know, there's no way. And I get it all the time with these messages and women. And I love that I get these messages because I get to... It's the difference between inspiration and motivation. You know, inspiration is outside. You know, when you're seeing something from the outside, you're looking at somebody said a word to you, an action, whatever. I want to inspire people. The motivation, what I tell people when I'm talking to them is, you can't motivate me if I'm not motivating myself to do anything. There's no way. So when you go to these events, I'm going to get inspired.
Correct.
But that has to light something within me that maybe I didn't know that I had, or I do have. The rest is action and what I need to apply.
Absolutely.
And so people,
I
just can't.
Like inspiration is the key to ignite motivation. Right? Because I have an issue when people tell me like, I need someone to hold me accountable. You need to hold yourself accountable first, so that then someone else can help you.
Right. Because you're going to piss everybody off around you. That
goes back to your own commitment and your own motivation and your little engine inside of you that's like moving you forward. Right? No one else can do that for you. It's not a magic pill.
That's right.
It's not a magic pill. Yeah.
That's right. It's all in action.
I go down these tangents.
No, but it's all in action because we hear it every day. It's sad though when I read these quotes of these girls. It says, "I wish I had your motivation. I wish I had your determination." And I'm trying to find the words to let them know you have it. It's here.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. You just don't want to do the activity that's required in order to get you to not say compete, but just what is it that you want to reach? Is it 5-10 pounds less? You know, you don't want to do the work. So now it's just laziness. And I can't...
You can fix that. Or motivate that. Or inspire that.
I can't do lazy. My dad has never raised us to be lazy. And so it's just really hard for me to be around that.
You know, Gary Keller is always telling us, like, you have to decide. You have to decide what's important to you. Because when we decide what's important to us, everything else falls into play.
You don't think it's hard for someone that's 300 pounds to get on a treadmill?
Oh my God, of course.
Like, you don't think that's like, and then you got ones that are half the size that just wants to lose 10 pounds or
Listen, I'm a runner. You put me on the treadmill and I will die. Okay?
For real?
I want to run outside.
That's cardio though.
The treadmill is like torture for me because I need to be going somewhere.
But the Peloton has the...
No. I need to be out in the
nature,
and the weather. And, I need to go and then come back.
But I mean, you look at these people, it's like, what's your excuse?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, these people what we were talking about earlier, you know, they lost themselves in that, and sometimes it's conditions and stuff, they can't, health reasons, but they still made a choice to start losing it, and they lose, and they just start, it's just action.
Absolutely.
It's just action. A wish is just a wish.
Absolutely. Yeah, wish, that's a bad word for me. Like every time someone
you
says
can wish all day long, that's the vision board, right?
Do you wish or do you intend? It's two different things.
Oh, I like that. I like that you said that. Okay.
Because wish is a noun, sense. Intent is a verb. Mm-hmm. Right? It requires action.
Right.
You know, I intend to
I like that.
Right?
I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that on the boys. Do you wish or do you intend?
Now, which one is it?
You want to try?
It's a different switch in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Words matter.
Yeah.
Words matter a lot. Absolutely. All right, so we're gonna do a little set of rapid fire questions.
Okay, dale.
This is where we're pulling from Jannese out.
You warned me already in the beginning, so let's go. Let's go.
Phone calls or texts?
It depends. It depends because if it's someone that it's a meaningful, something that matters, it needs to be a phone call. I'm old school that way. But if it's something quick, I just got here. Okay.
Got it. Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
Same here.
Morning person.
CRM or sticky notes? Dun dun dun.
Coño. CRM is the right way to say, but I've been on sticky notes lately.
I want the honest way. I want the honest
sticky notes. Because I get to do it and it's done. That's bad.
Fancy dinner or a hole in the wall?
I like the hole in the walls. I do. I like lo chinchorro. I like the family businesses. But I do like the fancy stuff too.
Yeah, it's like it depends, right? On the mood.
It depends. Give me some questions that are, you got me in the middle of, I like it all.
Beach day or pool day?
Beach. De Puerto Rico, claro.
Podcasts or music in the car?
Music in the car.
If I were to look at your Apple Music.
Pero, también depende. I have a lot to say. So I would love to share. God bless me with a lot of experience and a lot of things that I've accomplished. And if I keep it reserved, I'm being selfish. Mm-hmm. I need to share. So podcast would be a good way. But if I'm by myself, I'm music every day, 24 hours a day.
So if I go into your Apple Music or Spotify, what's the last song that you listened to?
I have been replaying Bad Bunny's whole halftime concert. It's been that. Like, I am dying for Lady Gaga to release that single and that salsa that she just did.
Yeah. Like we need a whole salsa album.
She has her voice. Like, Titi, it really? Is that what they're saying?
It's a thing that's trending now on socials.
Sí. So Bad Bunny, Latin, Puerto Rican, reggaeton, salsa, merengue.
Heels, sneakers, or barefoot by 5 p.m.?
Nikes.
Nice.
Nikes.
Very
tennis
cool.
shoes.
Very cool. Thank you so much for investing some of your time with us today.
This was fun.
This was a lot of fun. And how can people get a hold of you?
Instagram all the time. You can do it's my name, JANNESE _makes with an S _moves with an S at the end.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for hanging out today, man.
Thank you. This was awesome. I love you too.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Bye.